This is very exciting news because today Yelmax has just announced a brand new ETF. Actually, it's not official, so I'm the first one telling you about this ETF. If you go on YouTube right now, you will never find this information. So it's a very secretive information. Of course, by tomorrow, you're going to know a lot about this ETF. Now, this ETF is going to be one of those new ETF, and it's kind of game changer on its own right because it's the first of its kind on Yelmax line of ETFs. What ETF I'm talking about? This one is called SDTY. Yelmax S&P 500 0 day to expiry cover call strategy ETF. You might remember this name from other ETF providers somewhere, but I'm going to give you more details about this ETF, what it is, and how much it's going to be. And we're going to discover when they're going to pay the first distribution and what are we looking at the yield and all that information. We're going to cover that. But the first thing I just want to let you know is that on this channel, as you can see, I'm the first one to break this news. So in order for you not to miss this type of updates and more updates about your investment, make sure you subscribe to this channel. And if you like our content, please smash that like button. So let's continue. If we look here at distribution rate right now, it's 0. It's going to take a few weeks and whenever they pay. And I'm going to keep you update on that. For now, we can estimate how much it's going to pay based on other ETF that we know. Now, if we go down to performance, of course, it hasn't even been traded yet. If we look at the distribution rate is coming. Now, let's look at the fund overview because this is the most important thing to know. What this fund is, SDTY is an actively managed ETF that utilizes synthetic cover call strategy designed to generate income while also providing exposure to the price return of the index. The index here being the S&P 500. SDTY generate income primarily by writing or selling out of the money 0 day to expiry call options on the index. SDTE aims to distribute such income on a weekly basis. This is going to be another weekly distribution ETF. It's very good news because a lot of people are very happy to receive weekly distribution rather than monthly. This is another, again, this is a game changer, guys, because it's going to be different strategy. And not only that, but also it's going to pay a weekly distribution. But I'll tell you a secret here. Why Yelmax came up with this idea, having this ETF, they copied from somewhere, and I'm going to show you where they copy this idea. Now, if we look at the investment objective, SDTY primary investment objective is to seek current income. SDTY secondary investment objective is to seek exposure to the price return of the index, subject to a limit on potential investment gains. There's always two things here for Yelmax ETF. The first one is to seek an income, and also you seek an exposure. For example, if you invest in Tesla, you are betting that Tesla is going to go up, so you're going to make money whenever it goes up. But at the same time, you're investing to receive those weekly or monthly distributions. In this case, of course, you're betting on S&P 500. That's going to go up. Remember, S&P 500 returns about 7 to 10% annually. At one point, it can return up to 12% or 20% on year basis. But again, there is a potential on investment gains because you're not going to match the same again of S&P 500 because of those call options that they write. Fund information, the full name is going to be Yelmax S&P 500 0 day to expiry cover call strategy ETF. Fund ticker is SDTY. Fund inception was incepted on February 5th, 2025, which is today. Primary exchange is going to be on the NASDAQ, and we look at the expense ratio is going to be 1.01. So pretty much aligned with all the Yelmax ETFs. Net asset right now is 20, but this is going to open around $50 because this hasn't updated yet. Share outstanding is 1 because it only tracks the one ETF or one index, which is the S&P 500. We'll look at the holdings now. The biggest holding here, 80% of that is exposure to S&P 500, which is SPX. This is an index that this ETF is tracking. And there's a call option here. It expires on December 19, 2025. And there's another one on December 19, 2025. But all this will change because this is synthetically call writing. Is going to have a lot of money on the treasuries. Now I'm going to show you the chart and add more information. So on Yahoo Finance, you can go there. You can see the news that Yelmax has opened this ETF. But if you go to Bloomberg Terminal, it's going to say something like this one is pending trading because it just came out today. They put all the information, but the trading itself is going to happen tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock New York time. This ETF will start trading. But for now, we can see the price here is 0, but it's going to open around $50. Now, there's no more information, but whenever all this information comes out, I'm going to let you know the performance of this ETF and all this information. But where did we see this before? Because it will give us a good estimate of how this ETF is going to look like, and I'm going to take you there right now. This type of ETF existed before, but for YieldMax, this is the first time. But where it existed was from Round Hill ETFs. And they have this ETF, which is called XDTE, S&P 500 0-day to expiry cover call strategy ETF. And they also utilize synthetic cover call strategy to seek their current income on a weekly basis. By the way, YieldMax copy Round Hill when it comes to weekly distribution, because Round Hill started and YieldMax saw that it's very popular. So they had two funds, YMAX and YMAG, to be weekly distributed. But now they are opening most of their funds for weekly distribution, which is good. But if we look at this, will give us an idea of how YieldMax ETF is going to look like. Performance. It has returned about 17.79 since inception. If we look at other information, for example, dividends, the first distribution was on March 25th, 2024, and they did pay 20 cents, 12 cents, different payments at different times, but they've been paying distribution all along. At one point, we were paying 41 cents, so that's double from where they paid the first time. They also paid 23 cents, 18 cents, 64 cents. At one point, they pay way more. This is what you're expecting to get, different distribution at different times. And remember, this security is about $45. So the other one is going to be $50. So it will be similar distribution. This is how much you're going to receive. And what the yield for those distribution, they range from highest 20th to 50%. That's the distribution this ETF is going to have. I would say between 30% to 60%. This is just a quick update on YieldMax, a brand new ETF that's going to pay weekly distribution, and also is going to be a game changer on its own right, because it has different strategy than other ETFs that we've seen so far. It's going to write call on a daily basis. If you like this content, please smash the like button. And if you haven't subscribed on this channel, where I always keep you updated, make sure you subscribe. And if you find this video value and someone wants to learn this kind of information, just make sure you share with them. Thank you very much for watching. Till we meet again next video. Bye bye.